Mm. Hey y'all, welcome to the Devon A. Morris Unfiltered call-in show. Have a seat. Let's get ready. You have any questions? Come on, call in. Come on to that Discord channel. Do me a favor, get the unfiltered crew some finger snaps. We're ready to get started here. Mondays, 8 p.m. Every single Monday, we're here. I'm excited about it. Are you? Let's get this show started, y'all. The greatest Scrum show on earth. I'll see y'all soon. Enjoy. Hello, everyone. Hey, I'm feeling good. Welcome to episode number 2. This is the actual second time we've done this, so we're expecting to have a wonderful and great show. We've communicated to everybody on the planet, so we should have some people probably looking at us right now. And if you have some questions, you know to join the actual Discord channel. You will notice at the bottom of the screen the actual link to join that Discord if you have questions. And just go ahead and join us right now because we do have room for any questions that you may have. But one thing that I want to do, we talked about finger snapping for the actual volunteers that are helping me, and I want to make sure we show those volunteers real quick. So let me go ahead and get those volunteers on the screen for us real quick, and I want you to see the volunteers that exist here. Let's see, I don't even think they all. Okay, I told them to show their screens. There's more than just that. But the idea is that is the volunteers that's actually helping us with the show. So that being said, again, let's tell you all about the show. Let's get you at least started on what we're doing here. All we're doing is we're asking real world questions related to Scrum, Agile, maybe even some entrepreneurship. So if you have a question, this is the place to come to get your answers. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and invite our first guest in. We're going to invite our first guest in to the show, and let me go ahead and get started with that right now. Okay, Star, I got you live here. Let's see, you got yourself muted. You may want to unmute yourself. There you go. Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Can you can hear me just fine, right?
Yes.
Now I'm going to be looking over in this direction, even though I'll be back and forth here because I got your video there. So I'll start off by asking you, what is your question?
No questions. I'm actually here just to listen.
You're here just to listen. How long you been
This is my
involved in
first
Scrum?
time joining.
Oh, then you didn't have to come on here. Yeah.
I know I'm trying to get as much information as possible. I have fell off for a moment, got a job as a Scrum Master for Blue Cross Blue Shield, and have been trying to do it on my own, but I need the classes. I need to hear it.
Okay.
So
I
I'm just
understand. I
listening in.
understand. I understand. I'm with that. So how is your experience with Scrum going though?
So far, so good. I took your classes back in June,
Okay.
during the Black Lives Matter promotion that you had, and
Okay.
got a job
Mm-hmm.
fairly quickly within 3 to 4 months,
Well, that's
and
good.
have been just working with them. With the holidays and things, things have not taken complete course with the agile process. They're all new to this, so I'm taking this opportunity to get some more information on my side, so when I can
Okay.
actually give them that agile, you know, information, I know what I'm talking about. It's been a
Well,
while.
I mean, time out. Anytime you've been in class with me, you know the information.
Well, no, I know the information, but I want techniques. I want to hear it, more on a daily basis, not coming from me, but from somebody else, so I know, how to speak, get all that down. I'm down with the ceremonies and all that, and giving them the basics. I want to be able to get some more knowledge.
Okay, knowledge is a major plus, and that's one of the things that we really try to do here. So there, are you doing Scrum or Scrum Butt?
No, Scrum.
So you're doing everything that they say to do in Scrum,
Mm-hmm.
all the ceremonies, all the
All the
events.
things. Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, most people are doing Scrum, but most people are trying to
No,
figure it out.
no, they want to go right into it. So I'm trying to get
Wow.
as much as I can.
Wow, 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 wow. So that means you've been at it for how many months?
Roughly about a month. I mean, I started November 30th. So with the holidays and things that were going
Oh
on,
yeah, the holidays wasn't
it
happening.
yeah, it kind of messed it all up. So now I'm just trying to like crash and get as much in as possible so I know what I'm talking about. And
So
then
I have a
plus I'm
question for
going on
you.
maternity leave soon. So that's another
Oh,
thing, another roadblock.
well,
So
congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah, so let's scrum ties the kid right now, okay? Um, Let me ask you a question.
Oh Lord.
You've been involved with Scrum during COVID.
Yeah.
That means you haven't had the face to face with anybody. Like literally,
No.
you're not there sitting with anybody. You're not able to really get to know people as well online. So, what are you doing to bridge the gap?
Um, I'm just trying to keep communication open. We have our normal ceremonies, we have our daily stand-ups as well, but I'm
Uh-huh.
taking the initiative and trying to have outside meetings with each of the developers and along with the
Okay.
QA side. So I'm trying to bridge that gap, since they're not sitting right in front of me.
So you're actually getting to know them by, like, we have the Scrum events, and you're saying to yourself, look, I don't really know you. Let me find other ways to get to know you outside of these normal events.
Yeah, because they're not really apprehensive as far as having conversation on these
Mm-hmm.
daily sprints with the impediments and things. So I have to reach out to them individually so we can get that closeness, where they feel comfortable having these kind of conversations on the daily sprint. So I'm having those outside conversations with them. Makes it easier.
The reason why I asked you that is because we just had a class with a bunch of people was been going through rough times, and
Mhm.
one of the big questions that they asked was about doing Scrum during COVID and not having, how the Agile Manifesto says face to face communication is the best form of communication, yada
Yeah.
yada yada yada, right? And so you know how it says that right there, but one of the big questions that's coming to my class over and over again is how do you do this in this time of COVID? And you just said something really key that I think everybody can learn from here, and that is you don't really have to be face to face with someone in order to get to know them. You don't.
Mm-mm.
You can find other. You just gotta have some initiative and really take the opportunity to get to know them, because even though we're not face to face, that 1 hour you spend with them that 15 minutes you spend with a daily scrum, you spend with
Yeah.
them in the sprint, you sprint planning, sprint review. Let's just say in a normal 2 week sprint, you might spend about 4 to 6 hours with them in those activities. Let's just say that, right? But then you still
Hmm.
have over that next 2 weeks all that other time outside of that. So you got maybe, you know, 70 hours in an 80-hour 2 week sprint, right? So you really got all that additional time that you can actually go and actually hang out, spend time with them doing various things. I've had scrum masters that I've mentored that will do, like, have a party, like have a virtual party with their people, right?
Hmm.
Have retrospectives, play games on nights with them, right? Do different things that's allowing them to still grow as a community. So, and then they're actually, taking the time to get to know each other over time, piece by piece. So I think that is just what you are going through right now is actually helpful for a lot of people here, because everybody hasn't had that opportunity. Some people think that it's really hard to do Scrum virtually. And before COVID happened, people, literally before COVID happened, it was really hard to have a virtual team, that was local, a local virtual team. Like an international virtual team, you always kind of virtual. But a local virtual team was a little bit different, and people wasn't paying attention. They just really wasn't paying attention. So what happened since COVID, people are diving in because everybody's missing the touch points with people. So this is a great opportunity for you really to get to know people. And then on top of that, the interesting thing you get is you actually get to know them as a person because people are in their house. They're with their family. They
Yeah.
got family problems. Like I got my buddy over here. I got my kids here, and I got to figure out this, and we got to go do that. And they got all these personal problems that we all had to solve during COVID. So it's just one of those things
Mhm.
where it becomes something that you can take advantage of or you can lose. But if you go ahead and take it by the horns, then guess what? You can turn this into one of the most greatest opportunities that ever existed because I don't think there's ever been a time in my career, Star. I don't think there's ever been a time in my career that I've had the opportunity to get to know people so well.
Mhm.
Because most of the time I'm not in somebody's house. I mean, you in everybody's house, right? You get to see the stuff in the back, and some of their messes are junk, right?
Yeah.
You get to see the stuff in the back, and then they get an interruption here and then. Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. The kids are loud. You get all that stuff that normal people have problems with, and we all have those kind of problems. So it's just one of those things where I'm really, really happy to see you actually taking advantage of that, and I'm actually super happy to see that you took advantage of the Black Lives Matter thing, and you're using it because
Yeah.
we do quite a few giving people opportunities type stuff. We've always have our whole time. So look, Star, I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you. You have been a blessing to my family. My salary has gone up 60 grand in less than
That's good.
5 months.
Oh, look at that.
So,
That's what I'm talking about. Now, if there's anything I would
yeah.
snap for right there, that snaps right there. That snaps right there. When you say I've made more cha-ching,
Yes.
woo, that's good right there. So no, that's a good thing. Look. Here's the deal. Make sure you buy the baby a gift in our name now. All
Okay.
right. Make sure you do that. Okay.
Okay.
And then make sure you teach the baby Scrum early. Early.
Oh,
Okay, we
that's
got a
already in
sprint.
the process. My
Oh,
7 year
that's in
old
the
is already
process.
learning.
Oh man, oh man. My kids know Scrum. They actually do. So yeah,
Yeah.
but Star, I wish you the best with the baby. Take as much time as you want to on maternity. I give you permission to.
Okay.
All right, Star. You have a good one. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. I'll see you again
Thank
sometime
you.
soon. You have anything,
Okay.
just reach out to us. But you watch the rest of the show on YouTube. But thank you so much, Star.
Thank you.
All right, bye bye.
Well,
Okay, everybody, that was good. I wanted to take a moment with that one because Star is having she has a wonderful situation, and her situation is that she has an opportunity here to really do Scrum during this tough time. And this tough time, a little bit tough for all of us, right? But this tough time here has people a little frustrated, a little curious as to how we're going to basically work with people. And it's no different. It's how we would do it if one of our family members were across the ocean someplace. We communicate with them on a daily basis. I have a daughter that lives in Chicago. I call her every single day. Anybody that's on my team, I talk to them on a daily basis. So I'm going to work with a client. I'm always talking to people I'm working with. So it's just a whole different thing. So you just got to find creative ways to solve these different problems. So this is good. So I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling excellent about it. Oh, man. I enjoyed that. I really did. So we're going to go ahead and move on with someone else. And the next person we're going to jump in with is, let's see. How are you? How's it going? Femi.
I'm good, Devon. Thanks for the training on January 5.
Man, I'm glad you showed up for it. Oh, wait, here's the question. What are you doing with Scrum right now? What are you doing with it?
Right, I do. That's part of the questions I'm going to ask you. But right
Okay.
now, I started incorporating Scrum in my daily life. I do
Okay.
have one small stuff I'm doing right now, but I have incorporated Scrum to start with.
Okay.
And I know Scrum is something that has to do with timelines.
Okay.
At, at the end of every Scrum, you have to have a usable product. So
It'd be
there's
nice,
no
wouldn't
way.
it? You saying there's no way?
There's no waste.
No waste, no waste. We try our best not to have any waste. So what question do you have, Femi?
Now, since I just started and I've started trying to do this on my own,
Mm-hmm.
my next question is how do I get more experience, and at the end of the day, into an actual Scrum team to at least make money out of it now. I
Well,
know that
what I
I really need to understand and get the basics and the processes right before now heading in there.
well, so what I would start off saying to you is one thing, join the Unfiltered family. So we got an unfiltered community here, and in this community, we're going to be communicating things that's going to help you.
Okay.
So, for example, I'm going to be sending out something later on this week to the Unfiltered community. That's going to be around making sure that you stay on task, right? But here's the deal, okay? If you remember, I sent an email out to the Unfiltered community last week, Phenom Fridays, right? And in there, I actually put someone who's looking to hire someone. His company is looking to hire someone. Did you see that email?
No, I
Came out on
think I may
Friday,
have.
right? Now,
Okay.
here's the deal. Inside of the email is a job posting. Now, since you're new to Scrum, let's assume you don't qualify for it. But since you don't qualify for it, that's okay. What can you take advantage of? You can actually read that description and see what they're looking for. See what they're looking for in terms of experience and start working toward building that. Great
Okay.
example. I only have, right now, Femi, I've had 6 people that have volunteered for the show. That's it. Out of all the people that have trained, 6 people have volunteered for the show. That right there was one of the best opportunities for anybody to start learning Scrum, because guess how I'm running this show? Using Scrum. So on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, we're going to have Sprint 1 start, and you are welcome to see us do our Sprint 1, at least Sprint planning, start Sprint 1 up, and understand how we're operating, see a board, and actually get some experience with seeing Scrum.
Okay.
Because when we do it, we're going to be doing all the ceremonies except for the daily Scrum, and it's mostly going to be the team of volunteers actually doing the work of getting things together for the upcoming show and then working toward things we have in the future. But that's going to give you kind of this behind the curtains kind of look. And that behind the curtains kind of look is an advantage that you're going to have by being a part of the Unfiltered family, the Unfiltered community. So that's one way that we can do it. I will also be doing things in the future with people I know. Like, I have colleagues that are good at resumes. I actually have the PMI Dallas chapter has basically sent me a note saying, look, the people that you had in the hardship class, you know what? If they come to our brand and land class, they can get that for $5. Where they talk about things to do on your resume and LinkedIn and stuff like that. So now all I'm really saying to you is understand what the landscape is, man. So for me, understand what the landscape is, because understanding the landscape is actually going to be very helpful for you. It's going to shape everything else for you moving forward. So now as you get an idea of the landscape, that's obviously not the only job in Scrum, right? The one that I sent across. Because the job that I sent across is, understand what I'm saying to you, for me. Somebody reached out to me that I trained and said, Devon, do you know anybody? And so I'm not going to apply for it, right? And since I'm not
Mm-hmm.
applying for it, what else can I do? What's the best thing for me to do? Pass it on to you all, right? And if you qualify for it, if there's an opportunity for it, why not go for it? The other thing I would say to you that's important, I am going to assume that you are involved in some other organizations. So do you have any other organizations that you are a part of at this point in time in your life?
Yes, I am. I have.
Okay. Now, is that organization looking for volunteers?
No, I'm not too sure about that.
Have you asked?
No, I haven't.
So now, a lot of people don't mind some free work, right? Okay. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't mind that. Now, don't you think if you offered up your services to help them out, that you could probably, while you're talking, say to them, look, I would like to use this process here to show you or to do this thing to help you get to this particular goal. And here's how we're going to do it. And you ain't got to, look, understand, you don't have to teach them Scrum. All you have to do is just say, all we're really going to do is we're going to make a time box plan. We're going to evaluate that plan daily. And we're going to learn about what we did and try to improve. And we're going to do that every cycle. Whatever your cycle is going to be, every 2 weeks, every 1 week, every month, whatever that's going to be. Now, couldn't you present that to anybody? Because what you said to me earlier is that at the end of the sprint, we're going to have a what? Working product increment, right?
Yes.
Now, don't you think that anybody you would volunteer for would have no problem writing a letter of recommendation for you? Especially since you have delivered. And I'm going to assume that the organization you belong to, you actually care about.
Yes.
That means you're helping the organization get better. And now, if you help that organization now start shifting toward Scrum, shifting toward getting stuff done. Hell, they may say, Femi, we want you here, and that's it. We're going to put you on salary to do some stuff for us, right? So, for me, make your opportunity. You ain't got to go beg nobody. Make your opportunity. And when you make your opportunity happen, other things will happen. You just saw Start came on here earlier, right? She had a job in a few months, right? And about to go on maternity leave, right? And pretty much gonna be coming back from maternity leave with a Scrum job ready to go. Okay? So it is one of those things when you don't have any experience. This is how you start getting experience. My daughter is going to be working she's working to be an accountant, right? So what is she going to do? She's going to go do an internship with an accounting firm. What is that going to do? Get her the experience that she needs. Also is going to give an opportunity for them to get to know her. Okay? Now, that being said, that's not the only thing you do, right? Because what I learned when I went to this class, I actually went to the class that I'm going to present to the people who was in the hardship class, and other people that don't have, having hard times right now. I actually attended that class so I can see what it was like. And one of the things I learned in that class is that 60% of our next opportunity, 60% of it is going to be based on networking. Like when you think about the other 40%, let's forget that for a minute. 60% of it is going to be based on networking. So what am I asking you? What am I telling you? I'm saying to you, look, go get to know people. You know how you can get to know people? You see this virtual place that we're at right now?
Yes.
Opportunity to get to know people. You was in that class. We had a big class, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Class. Opportunity right there, right? Because some of those people will get jobs sooner than other people. And you just start spreading your wings. Not to mention that there are still meetup groups happening. I was a part of a Scrum Mastery conference, a few months ago that the Scrum Alliance put on. And that conference, I think, had 500 people. And then during the conference, they actually created a session where people can go sit at a virtual table and have conversations with people. So now, what am I telling you, Philly? Yeah, I'm telling you to network, right? I'm telling you network because that's going to be 60% of you landing your next gig is going to be networking, right? And guess what? A lot of times, especially when this COVID thing is over, go to a local Scrum meetup, Agile meetup, and here's what you're going to find. 25 to 50% of the people in the room. 25 to 50%
people
of the
you've
people
met
in the room.
virtually.
No.
Okay.
Are going to be recruiters. 25 to 50% of the people in the room when you go to one of these meetups is going to actually be recruiters. Literally is going to be recruiters. Does that make sense? So
yes,
the opportunities are definitely out there. And the question becomes, are we going to take advantage of those opportunities or not? And now all I'm really saying to you is take advantage of the opportunity because it's there. I mean, do we have a better time than right now? I mean, if you think about this whole COVID thing, right? Is there a better time than right now to really kind of get to know people and try to get yourself moving in a direction that you want to go in? I don't think that there is. I don't think that there is. So I tell everybody, certify up and make sure that you're ready to skyrocket as soon as this thing is over, man. Because when this thing is over, companies are looking for people now. Some of these companies didn't lose a whole lot of money. They let go of their people. Now they're starting to bring people back. So now you just got to get on that wave, man. And so I want you to start thinking about how can you apply this stuff. Now notice that I didn't tell you anything about doing it personally. It's one thing to do it inside your house, but you just networking with the people inside your house. That ain't gonna help you. That ain't gonna help you a whole lot. I want you to start networking with people outside of your house. Outside of your house, right? Take an opportunity, get to know people. Just show your face, man. Just show your face. I mean, I remember back in the day, right? 2005, I became a certified Scrum Master. Back in 2005. So I guess I'm slightly small enough. I guess I'm an old head to some degree, right? So in 2005, I actually became a certified Scrum Master. And the first thing I did is I went to a Scrum gathering. I went to my first trip. I went to a Scrum gathering. It was in Denver. It was actually in Boulder, Colorado, right next to Denver, right? And so it was right there. This was the first or second. I think it was the second Scrum gathering that ever happened. It was me, and it was 42 people, I think, total. I was the only black guy there. I was probably the youngest guy there. I felt like it, okay? There's probably 3 to 5 women. That was it. Rest of them was dudes and stuff like that. And so it's one of those things where people been seeing me since then. You understand? And I didn't go there and I didn't go there and do anything great. I just went there and showed my face. Just sometimes showing up and people seeing you around a community, they know you're around the community. So they're like, okay, what does this person do? What does this person do? So my statement to you is start figuring out how you're going to network. Start figuring out how you're going to network. Start joining some groups. Start finding ways to volunteer with some organizations that could benefit. And trust me, if you go in and you actually help an organization deliver something, that delivery still is something. It doesn't matter if it was for a non-for-profit. You understand where I'm coming from? One of the first places that Bearded Eagle really trained at was for a non-for-profit up in Chicago, up in Schaumburg, Illinois. That's one of the first real true groups that we went in-house and actually trained. And it was super beneficial to go inside there and actually do that. And I love working with non-for-profits. It's a beautiful thing because the people in non-for-profits really, really, really kind of want to change something.
Genuine.
Yeah, they really do want to change something. So, Femi, networking, first thing, okay? And volunteering. Those would be the 2 pillars that I would go after if I was you. So, does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. And I will give it a try, and I know it will work.
No. We don't try nothing. You time out. Let's try this over. We don't try. So you're gonna
I'm gonna do it. Not I used the wrong word. I'm gonna give that opportunity a full throttle ahead.
Okay. That's what I want to hear. That's all I want to hear. Okay? So we're good.
Thank you.
So that being said, thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Any other thoughts?
No, I just appreciate your class. It made the difficult look and feel easy to understand if you listen.
My man, I appreciate you. You have anything else? You always got a home. You always.
I will always reach out. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Have a good one for me.
And you too. Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay, everyone. That was a good call. Because a lot of people that are probably on this live right now, and a lot of people that will see this, likely are looking for opportunities. My statement is, I've always been of the mindset, go make your opportunity. Go find a way to make your opportunity. Go find a way to dig yourself into some place, right? And then use that to catapult yourself to the next opportunity, okay? So that being said, we have another caller here that I want to go ahead and pull in for us. Let's see. Let's go ahead and add them. Let's see, Jermaine. Let's add you back. Hey, Jermaine, how you doing?
Fine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Now, for everybody that want to know, I told anybody that if they don't want to show themselves on video, I still have to have you on the video because that's how this works. But if you don't want to show your face, you don't have to show your face. So that's one of the rules that we put in place until we can figure out how we're going to solve this stuff, okay? So we're just on our second show, so we're just learning. So Jermaine, you are the man now. What's going on? Do you have a question? I know you do, so talk to me.
Yes. So, first of all, I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate your whole team. I appreciate the platform you have.
Thank
It's
you.
very inspirational. And I appreciate the work you're doing that's more and beyond just professional, but also just the lifestyle change. So I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Um, yeah. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to know, so just being fully transparent.
Uh-huh.
So I'm an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so, but at the same time, I'm a very much person that's involved in the community,
Mm-hmm.
doing our things in the community, um, teaching classes on different subjects or what have you. So my heart is really in the community. But if you know, like I know, the community can't pay your bills, so I got to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
yeah, no, I
so,
understand.
and so now, and so being that I'm an engineer, one of the things in my job right now, I'm seeing the need that I need to make a career change because while I'm grateful for having a job, but I'm at the stage in my life now where I don't want to be so much involved in the grunt work as an engineer. So I want to make that transition to something that is more not as labor intensive,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't require so much preparation work
Mm-hmm.
for me to do what I need to do.
Okay.
So I can do more of what I need to do until I'm totally made that transition from working for somebody. Period. But until that time, I need to increase my income. And so a friend of mine, knowing that, he suggested I take the Scrum. Took the Scrum class,
Mm-hmm.
did very well in the exam, thank God. And of course, thank you all for what you taught me. I only missed two questions. That's it. Only missed two.
Okay, that's good.
So
That's good.
yeah. And so I'm looking at what will you suggest for me, not having experience in Scrum?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, how would I make that transition? Um, and just as another side note,
Mm-hmm.
I, I, what got me here is a interest in DevOps because
Okay.
I felt
Okay.
like with the whole thing going on with the whole COVID, but also because of what I'm trying to do in terms of my life, I'm trying to get out of being able to be somewhere in the brick and mortar.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you.
So be able to work anywhere, as long as I got a laptop with me. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I saw that DevOps career. So that's what took me here. As a friend suggested I take the Scrum class. So I'm just give you a little background what got me here. So my
Okay.
question is that what will you suggest that I do that will allow me to make that career jump
Mm-hmm.
into something more along these lines, without having and understanding I don't have any quote unquote specific um, 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 uh, um, experience, if you will,
Yeah.
in Scrum per se. Even though after taking your class, I realized I've been doing Scrum all my life. Then they
Yeah.
realized
Yeah.
that's what I was doing.
That's what most people say. That's exactly what most people say.
I didn't realize that's what I was
Yeah.
doing. Even a lot of classes that I teach, I'm
Uh-huh.
like I'm teaching Scrum, not even realizing that's what I'm teaching. So
Okay.
grateful for that. So how would I make that career change?
So
Without having to lose income, without having to drop my income level? And just right now, I don't mind sharing it. Right now, I'm making like $70,000 a year, but I need
mm-hmm.
to make that career jump, uh, to put things in a better place for me and my family. So how would you suggest that I do that?
Well, you sound like you're ready to be one of those career changers. Um, I'm
Right.
a career changer. Um, I was a in-home counselor in psychology.
Mm,
I was going around doing in-home counseling in the Chicagoland area because I got a psychology degree. And
mm-hmm,
so my first love is psychology. But I learned that my fiance at the time back then, she actually, I had worked like 122 hours one week, like literally like 2 weeks,
Right.
and she actually made more money than me working 40. And so I said, I can't take
Right.
care of this woman doing that. It ain't gonna happen. So, so I
Right.
decided to
Right.
change
Right.
careers immediately once that happened because it was a slap in the face, right? And so here's the deal, man. You are doing part of what you need to do right now. Okay? That is, you're educating yourself to make the transition while you're still working. So
Right.
that's what you need to do. Now, the advice that I would give you is I would try to parlay. I would try to parlay. What do I mean by that? I would try to take what I know and parlay it into the Agile Scrum world. Okay? IT is in everything. IT is. And the classic way that IT sneaks in everywhere is, well, Scrum sneaks in is through IT. So now the question I would ask you is, could you take some of your expertise that you have, match it up with your newness with Scrum, with your expertise from engineering, and use that to jump into an organization that would like to have that background expertise of you being an engineer, because you may end up being a good product owner because you do have
Okay.
this other specialized knowledge. So could you take that and use that to help you? The reason why I say that to you, Jermaine, is because I went from an insurance company to another. Basically, I went from Allstate to State Farm to Capital One to USAA. All of them got insurance and finance in common, and I was doing no insurance and finance.
Mm.
You understand where I'm coming from? So now the question is, could you find a firm that does that? Because, for example, I have had opportunities with construction companies, and obviously they got tons of engineers, but they also got software. You see where I'm going?
Okay.
So, can you take your experience and use that to help you make the transition? Is the statement. If you can do that, you're going to make your waves a lot smoother. Does that make sense? Okay? And by making your waves a lot smoother, then you are creating a nice buffer for yourself, because the one thing that people can't do is replicate your other experience. You can have a 21-year-old come and get a Scrum Master certification and then try to compete with you. Okay? You can have that happen anytime. But they can't compete with the experience that you already have. So I want you to take that experience that you already have, and you already said something really unique to me. And you know what that was? I've always been doing Scrum. I've always been doing Scrum. Okay? And since you've always been doing Scrum, now the question is, does your resume reflect that?
Well, let me be clear when I say that. When I say I always been doing Scrum, let me be very clear. When I say I always been doing Scrum, I have not been doing Scrum professionally. When I say I always been doing Scrum, I mean in terms of my life. I mean in terms of my life. In
But I
terms of how I
guarantee
live
you,
my life.
I guarantee you that some of the things that you've been doing in your work has been people kind of stuff. Has been
Okay.
stuff that would help a Scrum Master or a product owner solve a problem. You've had those kind of things, because we all do. And those things translate from job to job to job. So now, can you start taking your resume and start shaping your resume in a way where you can take advantage of your experience and bring this new thing called Scrum in, so that you get more experience doing that? Because there's, you already at a JOB. The other thing I would say is this: could you do Scrum in stealth while you were there?
That's kind of hard for me to say, because while I'm there, they're very anti-Scrum. I mean, without even knowing, right? The environment is very is not the best work environment. You have they really, in a lot of ways, just are very just not the whole four pillars. Is it 4 or 5 pillars
The
of
five, the
Scrum?
five. You talk about the
Five, right?
five
Five, right?
values or the 3 pillars? I think you talk about the
Yeah,
values.
right. No, I'm talking about the 3 pillars. Let me see. There's
Transparency,
the
inspection, adaptation.
yeah.
What
They
you talking
don't.
about?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Force.
The three. Yeah. Force. Right. Yeah. They don't really. They're very anti-Scrum.
Okay.
And so I'm looking so at the same time I'm trying to get into another position. I'm trying to really leave that environment at the same time. So
And I
they
believe you
wouldn't be
can. I believe you can.
right,
I don't see any reason why you
right,
can't. The
right,
question that you got to ask yourself is, can you take what you currently do
right.
and parlay that into your next opportunity? Because I'm telling you, if you're able to take your engineering knowledge and use
Mm-hmm.
that to help position you for whatever Scrum stuff you want to do with some other organization. Your current organization may be anti-Scrum, but their competition may not be.
I hear you. Mm-hmm.
You understand where I'm coming from? Their
Right,
competition
right,
may not be, right? And their
right, right.
competition, especially if your organization is better than them in terms of finances and everything else, they're competing better than them, definitely trying to poach people from that organization. So my statement to
Mm-hmm.
you is I would
Okay,
definitely take what I have and try to find a way to parlay that into what I can do and position myself in a Scrum world with that. Because what you have to understand is that people are using Scrum to build cars with, man.
okay,
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 so if people are using Scrum to build cars, okay, people are using Scrum in education. I use Scrum to
okay,
work out with, right? I use Scrum to build this call-in show. Like literally to make this call-in show work, I actually did Scrum, right? And all
okay,
this is on
okay.
non-software stuff, right? So now
Right,
I would
right.
ask you another question. You kind of said something to me that was interesting, and you brought up the word DevOps, okay? Not that
Mm-hmm.
I like to promote a whole lot of things, but have you read these two books? Continuous integration,
Let me
continuous
see.
delivery.
Never read those books before.
Okay, I want you to, I want you to read those books. There's a
Okay,
few others
continuous
that you may want to
integration.
read, huh?
Okay,
Continuous
continuous
integration
integration,
and
continuous
continuous
delivery.
delivery.
Okay,
Continuous
okay.
continuous delivery is by Jez Humble, David Farley,
Uh-huh.
and continuous integration actually came out before it. It is Paul Duval, M. Duval. Okay, so these books I want you to take a look at and read. And the reason why I want you to read that is because once you said DevOps, now you're talking about being a member of the development team. Now you're talking about being on that developer in that whole development world, in that whole building
Mm-hmm.
world. And in the whole building
Mm-hmm.
world, that's perfectly good. That's a good place to be. But
Mm-hmm.
that means that you have to have the skills to be there. So now the
Right.
question becomes, in terms of you being an engineer, are you really trying to move toward being a software engineer? Or are you trying to be a
No.
different kind
So
of
so
developer?
and again, I'm not I'm automatically telling you I'm not claiming total knowledge and a lot of ignorance. I'm just letting you know right off the bat with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in terms of me getting to the DevOps, I'm wanting to get more on the operationals. I mean, the operational side of DevOps versus the development side of DevOps.
Okay. Okay.
That's what
All
I'm
right.
wanting to more get more into, not just necessarily just being a just look at the screen software
Yeah.
engineer per
Okay.
se.
Okay. I mean that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Mhm.
So I think you can actually parlay. I think you can actually
Okay.
take the experience that you have and turn
Hmm.
that into an opportunity where people look at that experience and say, he has all
Hmm.
this, and this may be a little light on this area, but we're okay with dealing with that because we're just starting out in that. Or we got somebody here that already does that, and we can pair them up with that person. So you just got to
Hmm.
find that right opportunity where you can use the stuff you have and begin
Hmm.
to kind of get that new stuff out there with you. So I think,
Hmm.
man, I would say if I think about you, man, I think you could be nicely positioned, man. So now, if I'm
Okay.
you, like let's say I'm you, right? If I'm
Hmm.
you, I'm putting on my Jermaine hat. This is what I'm doing. I'm putting on my Jermaine
Okay.
hat right now, right? Okay.
Okay.
So if I'm you, in terms of how I'm thinking, right?
Okay.
What I would be doing is one, I'd be doing just what you're doing in terms of learning. So keep doing that. Don't change that. Okay.
Okay.
And then what I would add to that is have you taken a nice little look at the company's competition?
Okay.
and really
Okay.
took a look to see what the competition is doing. And you don't have to know what they're doing internally to have somewhat of an understanding of where they're going, and see if they
Mhm.
have recs out there, opportunities out there that they're looking for people that do this kind of work.
Okay.
I think you may be able to find organizations that are moving in that direction. And if you're able to
And
find
you
organizations that are moving in that direction, this is a plus. Does that make sense?
right. And when you say move that direction, you mean in the direction of
Where you're trying to go.
Scrum?
Yeah,
Okay.
just
Okay.
in the direction you're trying to go. Forget any other
Okay.
direction. In the Scrum kind of direction of where you want to go, right?
Go.
That's the
Okay.
direction you want to get in, right? And so I'd be looking at
Right.
their competitors, because the truth of the matter is, I went from Allstate to State Farm for a reason.
Right. Okay.
Do you understand where
Okay.
I'm coming from? I did that for a
Okay.
reason, okay? And that was a very,
Okay.
very deliberate decision on my
Okay.
part,
Okay.
knowing that there's that competition, right?
Mhm.
Knowing that
Mhm.
the competition would more than likely be willing to hire me, even though I don't know any super amazing secrets.
Okay.
Because I wasn't
Okay.
working in
Okay.
insurance, right? But they'd be
Right.
more
Right.
willing
Right.
to hire me for that reason, right? And so if you
Okay.
really just kind of sit back for a minute and take a look, I think you could be very well positioned to kind of move forward by doing some research. And I don't think this research is research that is super difficult for you. I think this research
Okay.
is research that gets you started, and then you just kind of start following these companies and seeing what they're doing, and go out to LinkedIn and start connecting with some of these people and networking with some of
Mhm.
them if you can, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
Seeing what kind of jobs these people have in terms of LinkedIn, because that can help you
Okay.
in part of that research. And see if you see
Mhm.
people inside that organization that have any scrummish type titles. If you see
Okay.
DevOps,
Okay.
if you see somebody in a title that says Scrum, or you might see Agile Project Manager, right?
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
you
Okay.
know,
Okay.
uh, you know, those kind of words are going to be words you want to look for people that's inside the company on LinkedIn, and you want to connect with them and make sure that they see your face. Okay,
Okay.
so from now I'm asking you to kind of do some stealth research, so and then you can kind of jump into your next move, grab your next move. Does that make sense?
Okay. Okay. And those two books again was continuous operations and continue.
No, no.
Can you say them again, please?
It is. I'll show it to you. It is continuous integration. This guy name is
Integration.
continuous integration. This guy name is
Uh-huh.
Paul Duval. Paul, you owe me a fee, man.
Tall
You owe me a
Duval.
fee. Okay.
Anchor. Uh-huh.
And then the other one
Uh-huh.
is this one right here. Continuous
Continuous
delivery.
lift.
And that is
Okay.
Jazz Humble. I mean, this
Okay.
book right here,
Uh-huh.
yeah, when this came out, man, this was the bomb.
Okay.
Yeah, because these
Okay.
guys like Martin Fowler, he's assigned to the Agile Manifesto. I mean, he's on this one too, right? But I think I'm probably sure that Mark knows Jazz better because Jazz worked at ThoughtWorks, I do believe.
Mm.
And then you got Martin
Mm-hmm.
here. So yeah, so Martin Fowler is a signer of the Agile Manifesto. So these are books that you definitely should be definitely reading. And then what I would say to you is you need to go ahead and dive into extreme programming. Period.
I'm sorry, say more time.
Extreme programming.
Extreme programming. Okay. Now you say extreme. Never
You've heard of it. You've heard of extreme programming, right?
I've heard of it. Never looked at what it was. Extreme programming.
Investigate it, right? I don't. I yeah, right here. Kent Beck,
Okay.
extreme programming
Extreme programming
explained.
explained. Okay.
Yeah, this is a little bit older. There's probably some newer books, but you can always start off with this one, right? And this right
Okay.
here will be very helpful. And there's other ones within the series, so I would recommend that you dive into those things and read them. Um, Again, do I this book right here, man, to be truthful, um, this book got to be old, you know,
Hmm. Hmm.
and books get old real fast these days, right? So this book is
Right, right,
copywritten
right.
like 2004, 2005, so
Hmm.
again, technology has changed tremendously. There's probably programming languages as what now at that time. Um, so it's just one of those things for you to just get your knowledge up on that stuff. And then you can easily just go look up extreme programming on the internet and get a quick
Okay, okay,
like synopsis about it. That would be helpful.
okay,
Um,
okay.
so and then you can at least have an idea of what that's all about, because if that's where you want to go, then you need to become astute at that stuff. Very,
Hmm.
very astute. You need to become very knowledgeable in that arena. By becoming knowledgeable in that arena, it's going to be very helpful, because one one of the places that organizations are always scared to go is in changing the way that they build things, and changing the way that they put things out, and changing the way they maintain things. Companies are always a little scared to jump in that direction, because it could have a huge impact on their day-to-day business. Okay.
Right, right, right.
So it's one of those things where you want to be really, 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 really want to learn about, be careful about. But it is a struggle. It is a struggle. When I say a struggle, a huge struggle for a lot of organizations. So it's a wonderful place to be. Um, it's kind of an area that I was trying to, when I first, before I even heard about Scrum, I was trying to do some extreme programming. The problem is I was just too young. I didn't have a voice.
Hmm.
I didn't have the I didn't have a heart to kind of be the person to be in an organization and try to change them. And so, since I didn't have the heart, the older guys would just tell me what to do, and I would just do what they told me to do. And I was too scared to bring up these ideas to them. And so it's hard to do things like that by yourself when you don't have a voice.
Hmm.
But I was thinking that way. But once I ran into Scrum, then I went ahead and went the Scrum route, because I ran into somebody else that was dogmatic about helping an organization change. So it is one of those things where I just kind of believe that you go ahead and learn, you go ahead and take your time, and just grow in that area, and do those things that we talked about doing before. I think you will be wonderfully positioned in an amazing way that will get you everything that you need to have moving forward. It's just I would just recommend and say to you that it's probably going to be a slow go, though. So to learn
Right.
these things is not quick. To kind of get under somebody else's wings and get yourself involved inside of organizations that's willing to grow in that kind of way is just a major plus. And when you start talking about DevOps, operations all over the place is really trying to dive deep in terms of DevOps. So it is an amazing thing. So I think you're nicely positioned, man. I think you can actually do. You can move forward and figure that part out, as well as find a place to land that might be that should be really safe for you. So
Now,
it
just to
sounds like
be,
it sounds
oh,
exciting. Yeah.
yeah. Now, I just want to say, I don't want to hold you up. Just want to say thank you, and I'm open to is because again, I had heard of Scrum, but haven't really investigated to a brother of mine, kind of like, look, we need to take this class. 'Cause he took the class, he was very impressed with it, and I took the
Okay.
class, and as I'm learning, I was I'm happy to learn information, happy to use information. So I'm even open to, if I have to go the route of just going straight Scrum,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm fine with that because one thing I do enjoy, as you see, I enjoy talking.
Yeah.
When, I enjoy talking, but but more important, I enjoy having to be able to share something, educate people, and change their lives. So I
Yeah.
see Scrum as something that based on my talent that I already have innately,
Yeah.
to be able to go somewhere and help change their organization. That's the type of stuff that's at the root. That's at my real core, you
Okay.
know.
Well, I
But
will say
but
this
being
to you.
mindful that, huh?
But here's what I will say to you.
Go ahead.
Um, that change person comes in way more than just Scrum Masters.
Okay.
If you was a member of an operations team, if you was a
Hmm.
member of a development team,
Hmm.
and you had that change mindset, one of the biggest problems I run into when I go inside of organizations is those other mindsets that aren't willing to change. And
Right.
so now, if you had that ability and you can bring those concepts forward to people and
Mhm.
give them an idea on how we can do this in our world, and it's not going to kill us, or let's try this, or let's experiment with that, you can be a change agent inside that world too.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
you don't have to
Mhm.
be a
Mhm.
scrum master to be that person, because
Okay.
nobody has nobody has the rights, the sole rights to the word servant leader.
Mhm.
Nobody does.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
you can be a
Mhm.
servant
Mhm.
leader no matter what you're doing inside of an organization.
Mhm.
Period. Okay?
Mhm.
So I would
Mhm.
say to
Mhm.
you, you think about what is the thing that you really, really want to do. If there was a dream, dream big, set your
Mhm.
goals and take massive action. That's what
Mhm.
I'd be doing.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
what is your dream? When you go into work every day, I want you to feel like you're not at work.
Mhm.
So, Jermaine, understand how I feel. I'm talking to
Mhm.
you right now. I'm pretty much working. This is not
Mhm.
work for me. When I
Mhm.
go on a client
Mhm.
site, it's not work for me. I
Mhm.
enjoy it. And people be like, hey,
Mhm.
man, hey, do you got extra time? I'm like, certainly. We can do this all day.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I want you to now start thinking about how you can position yourself. What can you do to make those best, biggest dreams come true? So you can set the right goals to get there and then take the action to be there. That's
Appreciate you.
how I'm thinking. So I know you
Mhm.
can do that, man. Here's the deal, Jermaine. I want you to come back and let us know how it's going. Okay? I
Okay.
definitely want you to come back and let us know how it's going. But I know you're going to be crazy successful. Just do it, man. Just don't try. Do it. Don't let no be no answer for you, because you already ain't got it. Them telling you no don't do nothing for you anyway. But use those tips, jump into that research, and I think you'll land in a wonderful place, my friend.
Appreciate you, Devon. Thank you so much.
Man, I appreciate you more, man. I appreciate you
All
coming
right.
on, and thank you for your time. You be safe out there, okay?
No doubt. Appreciate you.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
You have a good one.
You too.
All right, everybody. That right there was a wonderful, wonderful call. You know, we have opportunities here, right? And if you're a career changer, if you're over 40, there may be some things that you have to think about. If you have children, there may be some things that you have to think about. You might be in a sandwich generation where you're taking care of an older parent. There might be some things for you to think about. Nobody's saying to sacrifice all them, but you're really doing it for all them, right? I mean, that's who you're really doing all this stuff is for all them, right? And if you're gonna do this for all them, then go for those biggest dreams that you have. Because if you fall a little bit short of that, you're just one step, two steps below that biggest dream that you ever had, and you're probably doing some stuff you've already dreamed about. That's the thing that I get excited about happening for you all, is you all having massive things happen. So here's the deal. That is really was our last caller. That's really our time. Here's the deal. We do this every single Monday at 8 o'clock. We're gonna do this on Martin Luther King's birthday as well. So next week is supposed to be the holiday, but guess where we're gonna be? We're gonna be right here answering your questions. So if you have a question related to Scrum, Agile, entrepreneurship, please, please, please give us a call. Allow me to help you change your life, because here we dream big, we set goals, and we take massive action. On that note, peace. I'll see you all next week. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful, great, but really safe week, man, because it's crazy out there. So please have a safe week. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much.